action figure collectors out there. So I'm back with another action figure review. For today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the DC Essentials and DC Collectables Doomsday Clock, Dr. Mad Haddon, and Ozymandias. Okay, you do get that window box packaging. Okay, basically this is based off of Watchmen. They're kind of a part of the DC universe. Alright, so you do get that Doomsday Clock, and I do like how they put it, the Superman symbol right here. Also, it shows us other figures that you could collect, that I could collect, and basically I'm believing this is the rest of the Watchmen, and hopefully I get those as well. I think it'll be cool to have in my DC universe. Even well, Watchmen is pretty much technically a part of the DC universe. But I haven't really read I haven't actually really read Watchmen. But I'm pretty sure this would change that. I haven't read it. Okay, so let's get this figure open, see what they're all about. Okay, so here's what the figures look outside of the package. And basically these figures come with no accessories. Well, yeah, but I'm just gonna say, I really like the DC Essentials line. That's all I want to say on. I filmed a low-key review on my computer. It's not great quality, and I haven't edited that, but I'll probably get around posting that. All right. So first, let's look at Dr. Mad Haddon. Okay, so Dr. Mad Haddon, I will say that that DC Collectables or DC Direct has done a great job on Dr. Mad Haddon. Basically, he does look like he came straight out of the comic book. Actually, yeah. Basically, he does have, you do kind of see this like this little bit of tiny dot on his head. I don't know what that's called, but I do like how they painted on the black eyelining here. And I actually don't really have no problems with it. Basically it's just a figure that is just, you know, painted blue, which is understanding. It's because, you know, Dr. Mad Haddon doesn't wear much. He just has blue skin and going like all the way down to his feet, and basically does have that that muscly part, excuse me, but he has those black trunks, which they basically painted black on there. It's not made out of any sort of material or anything. This is basically the same. Hold on. I'm looking. Okay, I was trying to get my DC Essentials Sinestro out, but I cannot seem to find him right now. I'm just gonna keep on trying to look here. Okay, you guys, I found him. So basically, DC Essentials figures got the same body mode. So like all of the male figures got the same body mode. Like pretty much DC Essentials just do different paint jobs on, just put them different paint on these figures, but they are made from the same body mode. Yeah. And yeah, I think they've done an amazing job on Dr. Mad Hatten. It's basically, yeah, just Dr. Mad Hatten just looks great. Okay, so for the Ozymandias figure, I'm gonna get hate in the comments probably because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name right now. So okay, so for the Ozymandias figure, I will say basically this figure is kind of like a bit different from a couple of other DC Essentials figures. So because basically he is wearing some rubbery part and it's attaching put it on the figure. But pretty much this is how he looks in the comics. Pretty much that rubber material is like, and his cape is made out of the same material. I do like how they like painted the purple on him. Basically, this guy kind of almost like reminds me of Superman, but it's not Superman. But basically, do like how he painted on the golden purple on him. Like goes like all the way down to his shoes. Basically, also what I want to note, like with most of the male figures in the DC Essentials line, I actually don't own any of the female figures from the DC Essentials line. You would notice that on the male figures they use the same exact feet, like they use the same shoes on each of them. So there's nothing really new. It's just a different color, you know. It comes with 2 close-fisted hands, and they didn't even know I'm late reviewing this. Like in the program images, they showed him wearing a purple mask, but they took that off and basically does have that lining thing going around his head. So yeah. But this part does kind of limit him doing the ab crunch. Actually pretty much limits him from doing the ab crunch, I think. Or mine is just stiff right now. Okay. But yeah, this figure is pretty cool. Okay, so for articulation on these figures, they're pretty much the same. Pretty much they have the same exact articulation. Pretty much that he is kind of limited from doing the ab crunch. Or maybe it's just my figure because it's made out of some rubber material and doesn't limit the ab crunch that much. Okay, but I'm going to use Dr. Mad Hatten so they both could look left and right. Basically both of them could look up pretty good, and they can look down about that much. Arms could come out like about that much because of they have ball pegs. They do have a bicep swivel, and also double jointed elbows so they could bend at the elbows, and yeah, ab crunch. And you know they do have a waist swivel. They have hinges on the hands. They could kick forward at the leg pretty good. They could kick back at the leg about that much. I don't want to force it anymore. All right. Even though they got ball pegs in them, but they can do the splits pretty good. And they have the thigh cuff swivel and double jointed knees so they could bend at the knees. Mine's is stiff right now. Okay, they have a booth cuff swivel. they got hinges on the feet, so good up and down movement. With the feet, they kind of have these ankle problems, like these with the ankle joints. And also, they do have ankle pivot though, and both of them have no peg holes on the bottom of their feet. Okay, so size comparison time. Basically, so both of these figures, you could see that they're pretty much are about the same height. Okay, but here is them standing next to the DC Essential Sinestro, and the way how I look at it, they kind of look a little bit taller. Okay. Now, here is them standing next to a DC Collectables, some CW Arrow figure, and you can see that they're a little bit taller. Okay. And just for fun, since this story is called Doomsday Clock, here's them standing next to a Mattel collect and connector Build-A-Figure New 52 Doomsday. And here is them standing next to a old DC Mattel DC Limited Superman and DC Limited Batman, and these are 6-inch figures, and they're kind of like a little bit shorter. But I'm thinking Dr. Mad Hatton's tall. Goddamn, really kept up with his height. And also, here is standing next to a DC Multiverse Justice League movie, Aquaman, and a DC Icons Black Adam. Once again, there's don't got a lot of Marvel figures. I'm gonna show some 2 Marvel Legends. So here's standing next to a Marvel Legends TV show, Luke Cage. Oh, come on. Stand. And here is some standing next to a Marvel Legends 10 years Marvel Studios 10 years Thor, and you could see they're just about a little bit taller than Luke Cage, but they're a little bit shorter than Thor. Now here is him standing next to a Mattel Justice League movie, Wonder Woman. And, you know, she's definitely shorter. Here is him standing next to a CW Martian Manhunter. Here's him standing next to a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Mattel BVS, Batman, and Superman. Okay. And also for one more comparison, here is him standing next to Justice League movie Flash and Movie Masters Mattel Green Lantern. Okay, so that's my review. So my final thoughts on these figures, I'm gonna say, these figures are pretty decent. Like these could like get me wanting to read the Watchmen comics. Yeah, but my rating, out, I would give these figures 5 stars, like a full 10 out of 10. Like they look like they came straight out of the comic books, and the articulation is great. But the ankle joints could, be a bit better in my opinion. But yeah. But otherwise, these figures are pretty decent. Okay, so if you're a fan of Watchmen, these are worth picking up and worth checking out. And or you just like or if you're just a DC fan and you like the Watchmen, since you're kind of pretty much part of the DC universe, you might want to check these out. And also can't get them to work in the scaling well with 6-inch figures, even though they're seen more as 7-inch figures as the whole DC Essentials line. But yeah, but these figures are really decent. I highly recommend them. You should check them out if you're a fan of these characters. Like they're not from the movie, but they're from the comics. All right, and see y'all later.